And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today I'm talking about Distraction. Distraction is a game about, well, distractions. Try to think if you were playing that old game, that one almost everyone has played, the Simon Says, where you're clicking the different colors, but while you're doing that, someone keeps asking you questions and you have to answer them. Or when you're memorizing that phone number because for some reason you can't figure out how to get the phone number for the person you're talking to on the phone and put it in, so you're memorizing it, 555-762-3946, and you try to memorize that, and someone talks to you, those numbers go out of your mind. That is what distraction is about. It is trying to do something while be distracted by something else. Let's take a look. There are two decks of cards in Distraction. There's the Distraction deck, and then there is the Number deck. The Number deck is dealt evenly to all the different players, and so you would deal them so that each player has the same amount. And then you're going to start in the middle, and one person's going to put a number down there and say 5, and then the next person would put a number there and say 5-3, and then 5-3-1, and 5-3-1-2, and 5-3-1-2-1, and 5-3-1-2-1-9, and 5-3. Okay. Eventually someone's going to mess up. Now you'll notice those first couple cards I turned over were orange ones. When those show up, before you say the sequence of numbers that is underneath, you need to draw a distraction card and answer the question on it. This one says, if you could be any animal, what would you be? Or what's your least favorite food? Or name an animal that starts with the same letter as your name. Or what's your favorite pizza topping? Or wink one eye and then the other. Or what's your favorite movie? Or what's your favorite game to play? Or what gift would you like to receive for your next birthday? So you have to answer that question and then repeat the sequence. And so you're going to continue to do this. Now, eventually someone's going to mess up. And when you think someone else has messed up, you need to call them on that. You need to say, I challenge you. And when that happens, you're going to look at the cards in the stack. Everyone's going to go through the cards. I say, I don't think you got the number sequence right. And so we look at the stack to see if the challenger is correct or the challenger is incorrect. If the person who said the numbers was incorrect, they have to take all those and stick them underneath their stack. If they were correct, then the person who challenged them is going to have to put the numbers underneath their stack. What you're trying to do in this game is get rid of all the cards in your stack, at which point you win. Everyone else has one more round to see if they can catch up to you. Other than that, you win because you got rid of all your numbers first. So essentially the game comes down to one concept. You're memorizing a sequence of numbers while trying not to get too distracted by these questions on these cards. This game is going to have appeal to some people. People like to memorize. Some people like memorization games and some don't. Well, this is definitely a memorization game. So remember, 5, 5-4, 5-4-3, 5-4-3-6, 5-4-3-6-7, to go back and forth, but then asking the questions. The questions, that doesn't really matter. You could say, in a sense, that this is an icebreaker game because I also learned what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. I also learned who your first love was and things like that. But in essence, when you're flipping those numbers over, you are hoping beyond hope that you don't get a distraction card. This works really well with kids. It's a lot of fun. They enjoy trying to memorize the numbers, but answering the questions also, and then calling someone else out saying you got the numbers wrong. I'm sure there are people in the world who would never lose this because they could memorize the entire deck and answer all the questions. I am not one of those people. I can answer the questions, but once I do, I'm pretty much messed up on the numbers unless it's 6 or less numbers in a string and sequence. It's an entertaining game. I think it will work especially well for families. The packaging is nice. The cards are, the round cards are nice, and it works well. I think it will wear out its welcome after maybe 10-15 minutes, but for something quick to do at the beginning of maybe of a game, or just you had nothing to do, to pull this out and quick play it, that's a place where Distraction will shine.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.